just wait for a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The subcommittee of the Committee on Accountability of Public Officers and Investigation, or the Blue Ribbon, is hereby called to order. The Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Ralph Recto. May request also the Committee Secretary, Attorney Rodolfo Quibo, to acknowledge the presence of our resource persons who will help us today in this hearing.
Mr. Chairman, may I proceed? Currently present are Director Cecilia B. Camon, Director for Cluster 7, Public Works, Transport and Energy. Representative of Ms. Lolita Marquez, Abenilda Torres. Thank you. She represents State Auditor 5, Supervising Auditor, Audit Group C of DOTC 2. Secretary Purisima is represented by Assistant Secretary Maria Teresa Habitan, OIC for Corporate Affairs. From the Department of Transportation and Communication, Attorney Jose Perpetuo M. Lotilla, Chairman 2013 Bids and Awards Committee on Plate Project. From the LTO, Attorney Alfonso Tan, Assistant Secretary. From the LTFRB, Attorney Hines is represented by Attorney Carl Shah, Gemina Marbella. From the Philippine National Police, Police Superintendent Ronan Claraval. From the private bidders, Attorney Leo Romero, Counsel for Marianing and Sons Development, and Dr. Edward Ferreira, PhD. From the Philippine Automotive Association, Mr. George Blaylock, President. Mr. Benji Guerrero, Secretary General. Mr. Levi P. Laus Group of Companies. And from the Chamber of Automotive Manufacturers of the Philippines, CAMPI, Attorney Romel Gutierrez, President. And Ms. Marisa Concepcion, Secretary General. From the Truck Manufacturers of the Philippines, TMA, Mr. Dante Santos is represented by Mr. Eleazar Lampa. Ms. Josie Gonzalez. I'm sorry. My mistake. From the Automobile Association of the Philippines, AAP, Mr. Augusto Lagman, President. Johnny Angeles, Vice President, and Attorney Raymond Fortun, Legal Counsel. Is there someone who I have not mentioned?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'd like to thank also the Blue Ribbon Committee Chair, Senator Gigola, for entrusting the hearing on these particular resolutions. PS Resolution number 1239, resolution directing the proper Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the alleged irregularities on the bidding process conducted by the Department of Transportation and Communication concerning the procurement of motor vehicle plates amounting to 3.8 billion, with the end in view of reviewing and revising the laws and policies and regulations to ensure transparency and competitiveness in all government procurement projects, authored by yours truly, and likewise Senate Resolution 1288, authored by Senator Cayetano, which would like to focus on the no plate, no travel policy. And likewise, Senator Recto has his presence here is because he has also filed a similar resolution, no, regarding the procurement process and the bidding process of the said motor plate numbers. No? Okay, first of all, I'd just like to give a brief statement. Una, itong sa pagdinig ng komite nito na isang komite na malinawan sa mga sumusunod na bagay ang mga issue. Una, itong Motor Vehicle License Plate Standardization Program ng LTO. Maayos ba itong naimplementa ng ahensya sa kasalukuyan? Naayon ba sa ating mga batas ng procurement process na nanaganap para dito? Pangalawa, ano ang status o kalagayan ngayon ng implementasyon ng plate standardization? Bakit sobra-sobra ang delay sa pag-i-issue ng mga bagong plaka? Gaano kadami ang backlog ng ahensya? Sino ang dapat managot sa shortage na ito? Ikatlo, nararapat ba ang no plate, no travel policy ng LTO sa kabila ng kakulangan ng supply ng mga bagong plaka? Ano ang sentimento ng ating mga kababayan sa polisiyang nabanggit? Inaasahan ko ang kooperasyon ng mga resource persons natin sa pagdinig na ito, lalo na kasama natin sa gobyerno. Umaasa din na ako'y malilinawan natin ang ma-issue sa bidding na nangyayari para dito sa standardization project. Nais din po natin na malaman ang sentimento ng publiko ukol sa isyong ito dahil hindi po kaila na ang publiko ang lubos na nahihirapan at sumusuong sa epekto ng palyadong desisyon ng gobyerno, lalo na sa ating mga infrastruktura at proyekto. Marahil ay hindi na bago sa atin ang mga irregularidad sa government procurement, kaya naman ang investigasyon na ito ay isa sa mga pamamaraan ng institusyong ito na gamitin ang kanyang kapangyarihan upang tignan ang ganitong aligasyon. Narapat lamang na pagtuunan nito ng pansin, hindi dahil gusto naming mang-usik, kung hindi mas lalo ay ayusin ang sistema at alamin kung ano ang mga loopholes ng batas upang maamendahan ng ito ng angkop sa pangangailangan natin ngayon. Before we start our discussion, may we ask our committee secretary to first administer an oath to our resource persons?
For those who are here right now, kindly stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Kindly nod your head to say yes. Thank you. You may take your seats.
Okay, thank you. First, the chair would like to ask LTO or the DOTC representatives. Anybody could answer. Please state briefly the Motor Vehicle License Plate Standardization Program. Sino po? Sa LTO or sa DOTC? Briefly lang po. Attorney Tan, please.
Good morning, Your Honors. I am representing LTO. First of all, the Motor Vehicle Plate Standardization Program was conceptualized and implemented primarily with the problems surrounding the production, distribution, and issuance of license plates. We have started implementing this April of last year with the new vehicles, and then we started implementing this to replace the old license plates starting January of this year. This is separate from when LTO decided to implement and reimpose the no registration, no travel policy. To clarify, Your Honor, we have not stated that our policy is no plate, no travel. It has always been no registration, no travel.
So to Attorney Tan, as long as the vehicles are registered, pag wala pa yung plate numbers, they can be used by gamitin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed. Diba? Senator Recto is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just for the information of the committee, the chairman is correct that I filed PS Resolution number 31, and we heard this was referred to the Public Services Committee, and there was a hearing conducted in March of 2014. So this will be the second time that I will be attending a hearing on the same issue. Mr. Chairman, pwede ba ho bang magtanong na unang-una, Attorney Tan? Who authorized na itong programa na palitan lahat ng plate number?
The program was initiated by LTO and presented to the DOTC and was approved by the DOTC.
So approved by the Secretary
Yes, Your Honor.
as recommended by the LTO.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anong dahilan kung bakit kailangan palitan lahat ng plate number at hindi lamang yung mga bagong sasakyan?
Historically, Your Honor, LTO has always proposed standardizing its license plates. It was only implemented now. The reason being, if you look at our streets today, there are 10 different license plates designed.
Bakit 10 ang license plates design today? Sino may kasalanan kung bakit ganun karami? Ang taong bayan ba o ang LTO din?
I wouldn't say may kasalanan, Your Honor. Here's that whenever different...
The question is, why is it that you have 10 designs today for license plates? Is it because of the owners of the vehicles, or is it because institutionally the LTO in many administrations changed the plate numbers or the design of the plates?
It would be the latter, Your Honor.
So, in effect, para madaling maintindihan, ang may kasalanan din dito, nagpapalit ng design lagi ang LTO. Ang tanong ngayon, bakit ang taong bayan ang magbabayad niyan? Halimbawa, Mr. Tan, kung wala ang problema yung plate number ko, bakit ko kailangan palitan? Yes, please.
As I stated, Your Honor, the program was meant to standardize all license plates. And the only way to do this is to have everyone replace their license plates. The intent also is...
kahit walang problema yung license plate ko na in-issue ninyo, let's say 3 years ago.
Even then, Your Honor, that's correct. Kahit na walang problema. Because the...
So, dagdag gastos lang sa akin yun.
Tama.
Pero din sa taong bayan.
Tama, Your Honor.
Anong kapalit naman nun?
Ang kapalit po nito, we are ensured that there is ease in identification for vehicles on the road. If you look at our design now, it is not administration or politically oriented. It is agnostic, Your Honor, in that the bottom portion just states the region and not
Pero galing lahat yun sa LTO din. What good has it done to the public na palitan natin lahat ng plate number right now? Nabawasan ba yung traffic?
It was never meant to reduce traffic, Your Honor.
So, hindi dahil sa traffic. Dahil lumalabas dito, alam palitan natin.
In all, Your Honor, 8 million.
8 million. Ilan
Yes,
ang
Your
pribado doon?
7 million, Your Honor.
2 million publiko.
1 million, Your Honor.
1 million. Okay. So, at lahat magbabayad niyan, nung 8 million na plakang yan, sino magbabayad?
The vehicle and motorcycle owners, Your Honor.
Taong bayan. Kahit na walang problema yung plaka nila.
Not everyone, Your Honor, just the vehicle and motorcycle owners, Your
Oo
Honor.
nga, kahit walang problema yung plaka nila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. At sino makikinabang dito? kung papalitan lahat ng 8 million na yan, magkano yung halaga niyan?
From the point of view of the agency, Your Honor, everyone will benefit from this.
Now, again, let me ask ha. Sino magbabayad?
Vehicle owners, Your Honor.
Okay, magkano ang halaga para palitan lahat ng
450, Your Honor.
so total 8 million times 450.
450 for motor vehicle owners and 120 for motorcycle
So
owners.
magkano yung total niyan?
It's over 3 billion, Your Honor.
3 billion.
Yes, Your Honor.
So 3 billion ang dagdag na babayaran ng taong bayan.
3 billion will be paid by the owners and will go to the treasury of the government, Your Honor.
Will go to the treasury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero ibabayad din nyo sa plate manufacturer.
Based on the bid price of the plate manufacturer, Your Honor.
So magkano yon?
It's, I believe it's 380 for the motor vehicles and 100, something like 100 for the motorcycles, Your Honor.
Okay. And yung natitira, mapupunta sa gobyerno. Administrative costs.
It goes first to the government, Your Honor, before we pay
You pay the supplier.
the supplier.
Okay. At hindi mababawasan ng traffic.
Like I said, Your Honor, it was never meant to reduce traffic, Your Honor.
Okay. So you're saying for what purpose again?
To standardize, Your Honor, ease in identification.
Why? What is the problem right now with a 3-year-old vehicle with a plate number? Issued by government, issued by you.
Your Honor, if we
You
are talking,
cannot identify that vehicle?
Your Honor, if we're talking about, first of all, let me state, Your Honor, that when we talk to our enforcers on the road, they mainly rely on the design and series of the plate number to spot possibly colorum, smuggled or carnap vehicles. The example would be old design plates on newly purchased, on new model vehicles. So if we're talking about the latest 3-year motor vehicles, that would pose a big problem because of the plate backlog we had in 2011 and 2012.
Attorney Tan, I'll put it simply this way, no? If you decided na all new vehicles lang ang lalagyan ng bagong design, okay lang siguro. And then, by attrition anyway, mawawala na rin yung dati. At magiging standardized na yung plate. But then, you decided or recommended and the DOTC decided na palitan lahat na kahit walang problema sa pilitan. Okay? At yung dagdag na gastos lang ng motor vehicle owners. Yun ang problema dito. Pangalawa, lahat yan pupunta sa isang manufacturing company na questionable pa yung bidding. So let me get to that at this point. No? You recommended and the DOTC decided when to do this? Napalitan lahat ng plaka.
We started with the new plates April of 2014, Your Honor, and we started replacing the new 4-wheel plates January of this year.
Okay. So and then we're talking about the 2013 budget, General Appropriations Act. When did you bid this project out?
Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
The bidding was conducted in the DOTC, Your Honor, so perhaps.
Yes. I can help you because this is the second hearing. You had the bidding in 2013,
Yes, Your Honor.
and the budget in 2013 for motor vehicle plate making was only 187 million.
Yes, Your Honor, because
But you bidded out a project worth 3.8 billion, di ba?
the budget was in 2014. Your Honor.
Correct. But when did you bid out the project?
The bidding started in 2013, Your Honor.
Okay. And when did you, and you had the bidding 2013, but there was no appropriation.
There was, but it was a smaller amount, Your Honor.
So if the budget in the appropriation was only 187 million, how could you bid out a 3.8 billion project?
Your Honor, if I may recall, Your Honor, the law allows a bidding short of award, Your Honor.
Yeah, but there was no authorization in the budget. Wala pa. Wala pa. What if Congress did not put a budget in 2014 for this? What will happen then? Those who bidded can sue you.
Your Honor, if I may just explain
Yes,
a little.
Yes, please.
The procedure is that the procedure that was followed was to commence the bidding, but not to award it because there was no complete appropriation for it. Under the rules on bidding, Your Honor, a bidding is really an invitation for the public to make an offer. So, under that a general principle of law, if, for instance, there is an offer, but we could not accept the offer because government does not have the funds to pay if the offer is accepted, then government always has that.
Attorney Lutilla, we are familiar with that. Huh? When did you award this project? So again, for the record, there was insufficient appropriation. Your authority was only 187 million, but you bidded out a 3.8 billion project. Then you awarded it when?
February of 2014, Your Honor.
I have here the transcript of record of our first hearing in March. According to Secretary Abaya, when he was asked by the chairman, the notice of award was on July 22, 2013. There was a notice of award in July 22. Is that correct?
Honor, may
Yes. I have it here, official records.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is indeed correct, Your Honor, that the notice of award was in July of 2013.
Walang budget, but you awarded the project in July of 2013. Is that correct?
Your Honor, the reason why
No, the question is, again, you awarded the project in July of 2013. That's what you said earlier. And that's what the Secretary said anyway. Is that correct? Yes or no?
yes, Your Honor, it
Yes.
was.
Then let me ask the next question. But you signed the contract on February 17 of 2014.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct. Para mabilis tayo.
Sure.
Okay? But then the statement of Authority Tan earlier, for all new vehicles, when did you start releasing plates? April of 2014.
14. Yes, Your Honor.
April of 2014, you released new plates.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you release for new vehicles?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you release for the old vehicles?
January of 2015, Your Honor.
2015.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, again, let me point out, Attorney Lutilla. And COA is here. We can ask COA kung pwede ba yun. been a member of the House of Representatives for 9 years, 10 years in the Senate. My understanding of the General Appropriations Act is that there was insufficient budget for 2013. 187 million lang. And you bidded out a 3.8 billion project. And in March of 2014, we had a hearing. And we already, as representatives of our people, warned you of not proceeding with the project, especially with regard to the old plates that you have issued already. Kung sakali yung bagong sasakyan lang. And again, as I said, by attrition, you will have a standard plate anyway. But you proceeded to change all these plate numbers. And today, as it is ongoing, maraming problema, maraming delays, and we will find out later. And I've yet to see what good has it done for motor vehicle owners, whether public or private. Anong naging pakinabang ngayon na gumagastos na ngayon yung tao para dyan? Nabawasan ba yung traffic? Ang sinagot nyo, hindi. Anong additional security feature na sinasabi ninyo? Wala akong nakikita dahil meron na akong bagong plaka rin for my old vehicle What good has it done? Can you explain to the committee? May pakinabang na ba?
As to the program itself, we would say yes, sir.
Like what?
Again, sir, there are 10 old plate designs being used on cars running
So how
the roads.
many are there right now?
Right now, Your Honor, as I said, Your Honor, we're just starting to replace the old motor vehicle license plates. As to the procurement
as a
itself,
vehicle owner, I paid you $450 for a new plate in
If-
my old vehicle, which is only 3 years old.
if that is,
Maganda pa yung plaka ko. Anong pakinabang ko doon?
may I answer?
Yes. No.
If that is attached properly, Your Honor, that cannot be stolen easily.
You know, I can steal a car and just with a screwdriver. Don't tell me that I cannot take away that plate number.
That's what
That
the
is not
plates was
true.
designed for, Your Honor.
Yeah, but that is not true because I already have it. I can demonstrate it to you. So, this is what it appears to me and to many others. Parang negosyo lang to na binigay natin sa bagong supplier. Parang palitan natin lahat ng plaka. Gagastos ang taong bayan dito na hindi naman kailangan. If at all, for new vehicles only. Let me reiterate that. And then by attrition, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you will probably have 1 or 2 designs left. Right? We discussed this in March of 2014. And you proceeded. And today, it is May of 2015. Anong pakinabang? Kung hindi gastos lang. And I don't see any security feature na makakatulong. So, and you know, there are many complaints on delays. And we will hear from the distributors later and consumers, I suppose. Hanggang ngayon, meron akong kakilala Nagbayad na, wala pa yung plaka for an old car, Is that happening today, Attorney Tan? Or do you deny that that is happening today?
Like I said a while ago, Your Honor, it is true that it is happening in some cases where we see problems in the registration of the vehicle.
Okay, so until today, it is happening.
If there are problems in the
So
registration, Your
dinagdagan
Honor.
ninyo yung problema in effect. And we will hear later on from our resource persons. I suppose many of them will say the same thing. So, Mr. Chairman, I do not want to take much of the time of the committee. I think I've made my points clear. I'm sure we will hear later on from the other resource persons. And many of them, if not all, will probably say the same thing. No? So again, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I reserve my right later on to ask further questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Recto.
Thank you to our resource persons as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Recto.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Sir Edward Ferreira.
Yes. I just would like to ask Mr. Chairman from the OTC LTO.
Please address your questions to the chair.
Yes.
So we have an orderly proceedings. No? We cannot ask kasi directly. So please address your questions to the chair.
Apo. Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang pong itanong sana. Doon po sa invitation to bid ng DOTC LTO, nakasama po doon na doon po sa 450 na babayaran ng mga vehicle owners. Sa 450 po, nakalagay po sa invitation to bid, kasama na po yung 2 plaka na bago, kasama na po yung 2 set ng plate locks, at saka kasama na po yung sticker o third plate sticker. Ngayon, tanong ko lang po, kagaya po ni Senator Recto, na meron na po siya sariling plaka, ako rin ho nagpa-register ng aking plaka. Yung para sa renewal po. Ngayon, unang-una, akala ko po yung aking old plate na numero ko tsaka letra ay mapapalitan na ng in accordance to the new plate standardization feature. Pero ang naibigay ho sa akin, kung ano po yung luma kong plaka na numero ho, yun din ho ang nakuha ko. No? So, wala hong 3 ang letra, tapos 3 rin po yung numero. Ngayon, gusto ko lang po itanong, dahil doon po sa resibo ko, nagbayad po ako ng 450 pesos. Pero nakita ko po sa resibo ko rin na meron pong additional na cost ng sticker na 50 pesos. So, ibig sabihin po nyon, being a car owner, bakit po ako nagdagdag ng 50 pesos pa sa sticker? Kasama na po yun sa 450 na pinabid nila. Kasi alam ko po ito kasi private bidder po ako, isa po ako sa mga private bidders eh. Kaya alam po namin yung procedure na what actually happened during the bidding process. Alam po namin. Kaya po nagtataka ako, saan po napapunta itong 50 pesos na additional na sticker? Sa 8 million po. Sa 8 million pong car owners. Ano? Sa 50 po, ilang milyon po yun. Bakit po ang LTO nangolekta ng additional 50 pesos in addition to the 450 pesos na regular na dapat bayaran? Gusto ko lang po itanong po, Mr. Chairman, kasi po ang nalulugi po nito ay tayo pong mga publiko tayo pong mga owners At saka saan po napapapunta yung 50 pesos na binayaran namin o binayaran ko? Sa treasury po ba? Sa ano po ba yan? Kasi may resibo po May resibo po na kung napapunta ho sa treasury o napapunta po sa LTO, hindi ko po alam. Kaya gusto ko lang po itanong, bakit po sila naningil ng additional na 50 pesos? Tignan po ninyo sa lahat ng registration ninyo, merong additional na 50 pesos po na hindi po dapat sila maningil dahil kasama na po yun sa proyekto na 450 pesos po. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ferreira. So, from the LTO, anybody can answer? Attorney Lotilla or Attorney Tan?
Yes, Your Honor. As you know, Your Honor, the fees of LTO are not set by LTO. It's set in accordance with the program of the government, the LTO cannot just reduce or remove fees. We have, however, previously asked for permission to reduce our fees. Unfortunately, we have not yet gotten any
just a
positive
follow-up on that.
response.
Who authorizes the increase and decrease of fees?
Your Honor, we have to go. May.
NEDA ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor. NEDA, Your
NEDA.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So you're telling us right now that 50 pesos dahil sa NEDA?
That's the existing fees for the sticker. The 450 is the existing fee for the plates, Your
plate.
Honor.
But the private bidder here, Mr. is
Mr.
saying that
Barre.
in the bid documents, the sticker is included in the plate.
Your Honor, gusto ko lang po basahin sa invitation to bid, no, na nakalagay po sa newspaper all over the country. Nagpabido sila, the Department of Transportation and Communication and LTO through the General Appropriation Acts intends to apply the sum of 3.85 billion 600 million and 100 pesos being the approved budget of the contract for ABC. So ibig po sabihin no, na yung pong
But as pointed out earlier, walang 3.8 billion sa budget ng 2013.
Opo, pero po Your Honor, nakalagay po yun sa invitation to bid nila, no? Kaya alam po na, hindi po namin alam, kaya po kami sumali sa pagbibid dahil alam po namin na meron talagang budget doon. Hindi naman po namin alam to eh. Nakalagay po sa sa invitation to bid, bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at a bid opening. Further, the bids for each pair of motor vehicle plates should not exceed 450 pesos inclusive of stickers and plate screws, and 150 pesos for each MC plate with stickers and plate screws. At saka po meron pong binigay na specifications kung ano po magiging specification ng plaka at saka po ng mga tornilyo. So yun po nakalagay sa bid documents, sa invitation to bid, pati sa bid documents. Eh, bakit po sasabihin po ng NEDA na sila po kami karapatan na magbigay ng pahintulot sa LTO o sa DOTC na mag-increase sila o decrease? Eh di sana po sinabihan nila kami. At saka hindi po ba ang NEDA, Your Honor, kayo po dating director ng NEDA, hindi po ba?
Walang ganito problema nung sekretary ako ng NEDA.
Ewan ko po, ngayon po nagkaroon po ng ganung problema po eh.
Teka. Just one last point to Attorney Lutilla or to Attorney Tan.
So bakit po yun merong additional 50 pesos?
Yes, understood. One last point. Dumaan ba to sa NEDA?
Yun.
If you're saying that fees, my understanding when I was secretary, all projects 200 million and above were coursed through NEDA to confirm with the Philippine Development Plan, because these are all investments made by the government, paid by the public. So ito ba, pinag-aralan ba ng NEDA itong programa ninyo na palitan natin lahat ng plaka at i-charge natin? Fee din yan eh.
May I answer now,
Yes,
Your Honor?
please.
Yes, Your Honor, we wrote to NEDA whether or not it requires NEDA approval, and they wrote back that it does not, Your Honor.
Can you submit those documents to us, to the committee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mr. Chair, just on that point, with the permission
Yes,
also of
Senator
Senator
Quintana,
Recto.
please.
Attorney Tan or Attorney Lutilla, could you affirm to this committee, magandang tanghali, no, that there's a difference between NEDA allowing you to charge certain fees, and there is a difference that NEDA allowing you to vary your contract as signed, as produced by that bidding? Meaning, ibig sabihin, just because they said you can charge 50 pesos, that doesn't mean na pwede mong i-alter yung kontrata na kasama yung sticker sa kontrata. So, now you are charging people 50 pesos rather than charging the contractor. So, the contractor owes us 400 million if it's 8 million people at 50 pesos sticker, and now you owe people 400 million, kailangan nyo isoli yun. Kasi kasama na sa bidding eh. Kasama na sa administrative cost nyo na 100 piso.
Tama po.
Did you tell NEDA na you will charge 50 over and above what you have already included in the contract? So do you mean to say, kumita ng 400 million unjustly ang bidder ngayon? In addition to yung usual niyang kita.
No, Your Honor. The costs for the plates and the stickers before the plates and the stickers used to be procured separately.
No,
so this time we
we're
procured
not talking
it at
about,
the same time.
Attorney, sorry,
Yes,
we're
Your
not
Honor.
talking about what it used to be. The gentleman here just read the invitation to bid. Kasama eh. So sa 450 mo, kasama na yung yung 50 pesos na sticker.
Yes,
But ang
sir.
ginawa nyo, hiniwalay pa rin nyo yung 50 pesos. So may kumita ng 400 million pesos.
No, Your Honor. Because we did not procure stickers separately anymore, Your Honor. So
Then, but kasama na nga po sa sa kontrata eh.
yes, Your Honor.
Then the contractor also owes you 400 million pesos. Because they're supposed to deliver to you also the contract. Then you cannot pay them because their delivery to you is incomplete.
No, Your Honor. It is part of the contract. It is delivered with the plates. So we give it with the plates,
With
Your
the
Honor.
450. It is included in the 450.
As a procurement, yes, Your Honor.
Eh, sabi nyo 450, tinanong kayo ni Senator Rector kanina eh, sabi nyo 450, more or less 350 yung cost, 100 pesos admin. Di nyo sinabing may another 50 pesos. Kita nyo yon, income yon. Hindi na administrative cost yon, and you're not allowed. You're not allowed to impose taxes, only Congress, and you're not allowed to impose non-fees. And that's not a fees, that's a profit.
No, Your Honor.
What is it?
If I may explain,
yes,
Your
go
Honor.
ahead.
We have always procured plates and stickers separately.
Then
This
why did you
time-
bid it out together?
This time we bidded it out together because we wanted the plate numbers stated in the stickers.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Chair, because I'll have my turn later, let me just tuldukan lang to yung point na to. No? If I bid out etong tasa na to and the tea bag and the water together, and sinabi ko 450, kasama na admin everything, no? And then I sell the tea bag 50 pesos, hiwalay. Ano tawag mo sa 50 pesos na makukuha ko? Hindi ba profit yon? Kasi yung 450 covered na lahat eh, pati admin cost eh. So is LTO a profit-making agency?
It is not profit strictly, Your Honor, because on the other hand, we did not procure stickers separately already.
No, sir.
So you-
Profit is not about where you procure it. Profit is what you put over and above the cost. Ang cost mo, kasama na admin cost, is only 450. Tinubuan nyo ang taong bayan ng 50 pesos. So why don't we just admit to people na gatasan namin kayo? Na ginatasan na namin kayo sa 450, gagatasan pa namin kayo sa 50 pesos. If you only charge 450, will there be any loss to LTO?
Your Honor, we cannot charge only 450.
If you charge only 450, will there be a loss to LTO?
there will be none, Your Honor.
There will be none. So it's a profit. Let me put that on record, Mr. Chair, and let me just have some time later on. Thank you.
Likewise, just like the chair would like to ask Attorney Tan or anybody, yung bang yung special screws na, di ba meron tayong special screws, is that included already in the 450?
Yes, Your Honor.
Magkano ho ba yung screw na yan? Meron ba kayo idea?
Based on our market study before we procured this, Your Honor, it's around 25 per, Your Honor. 25 pesos per, Your Honor.
At 35 pesos only, per set.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ito yung hindi na ho pwedeng gamitin to. Once you have installed the plates, it cannot be removed anymore.
If installed properly, yes, Your Honor.
If installed properly. Going back, the chair would just like to be clear, yung concern ko ni Senator Rector earlier, Attorney Lotilla, that there was only 187 million in the 2013 budget of the DOTC for the plates. And then the published contract was 3.8 billion. I'd just like to ask COA, is this really allowed? Kasi sinabi po ni Attorney Lotilla, who's the COA representative? Ms. Camon, please.
We have a GPPB guidelines that our procuring agency can enter in, could start the procurement process up to, even if there is no appropriation yet, meaning approved appropriation. However, they could make use of the amount as stated in the given NEP. So if in the case of LTO, in the case of this project, the NEP that should be used is for year 2014. So yun po ang ginamit nila. Opo.
Your Honor,
Just one point. I'm sorry, Mr. Romero. With the COA, you're a representative of COA. Okay. You mean to tell me that any government agency can start the process of bidding even if there is no appropriation for that year?
It is allowed in our GPBB's memorandum circular. Nakalagay po doon.
Kahit walang appropriation?
Wala pang approve. Ang approve.
That the new plates will be white for hire vehicles. It's actually yellow, Your Honor. It will be yellow. We will be changing them to yellow also.
Your Honor.
Mr. Chair.
Before Mr. Gas would answer, may tanong lang ako kay Attorney Tan. Nabasa ko kasi na there was a news article that came out that you are already running low again on the supply of plates. Is this true?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for bringing that up, Your Honor.
Please clarify para malaman ng ating mga na publiko.
As to our plates, Your Honor, we have tried to avoided over-ordering and oversupplying as to what has happened in the past. This time we are ordering periodically. Our supply was until June of 2015. Unfortunately, Your Honor, when we started implementing the no registration, no travel policy, we had a surge of registrations. If you talk about NCR Region 3 and Region 4, which compose of more than 60% of the entire four-wheel motor vehicle population, we had a if you talk about NCR Region 3 and Region 4, which compose of more than 60% of the entire, sample na lang, April 1 kami nag-announce ng no registration, no travel. March 31 po, yung last day, hindi po kami nag-cut off. Bukas po yung NCR regional office namin hanggang gabi. Ang Toyota Alabang po, sabihin ko na, Toyota Alabang, nag-submit sa amin ng 500 units for registration. Sir. I mean, saan ang galing yung 500 na yon? We can do the 100 if a
SM hindi mo nagustuhan. Sa gobyerno, wala kang choice. Di ba? Sa test na lang yung sinasabing may choice ka eh. Pero ibang ahensya, wala kang choice. So, asking for the dealers, the senators, is reasonable time. So what you're saying is an exception eh. Na someone gave 5, and it might not even be an exception. I don't know. I'll watch the presentation. I don't know how many. But my point is this. If I'm a private citizen, I'm paying all the taxes, I'm following all the laws, I'm buying a new car, there is no risk. Diba? I paid the insurance, I paid the registration fees. There is no risk na magka-problema. Dati may conduction sticker eh. Tinanggal nyo rin yun, di ba? So dati, pwede kang may conduction sticker kahit isang buwan lang, nakalagay lang na no plates or for registration, pwede mo nang gamitin. So, no plates or is land transfer doesn't mean that. But we're governing something for Congress. Why did Secretary Reyes, who's even a military man, he's not a lawyer, he's not a, why was he able to get the industries together and come up with something common? No? But anyway, Mr. Chair, just to push this along and then we'll listen, then we'll get your reaction because we might find a solution here. No? And I just want to go home today, finding a solution at least to that aspect. Dun sa iba, sa legal, tech, with your permission,
is just a
kotse, nilagay mo, younger than me, yan. No? I know you graduated late. Bible eh, di ba? The law, di ba? That's why adjustments, hindi to naging problema eh. whether because there are new plates or dumami sasakyan, etc., there is a problem here. I'm hoping we can solve it here today. No? And I don't blame you for enforcing the law strictly, no? But I'm saying there should be a way for us to, hindi mo pwedeng pagka hindi tuwid ang daan, mabilis. Pag tuwid ang daan, mabagal tayo. There should be a way na tuwid na yung daan, efficient at mabilis pa. Diba? I think it goes together.
Please make it very. We have to hear already the car manufacturer.
Provided we agree with the COA piece of audit observing the COA if a disallowance that has been issued because it has not been affecting the delivery of the plates, Your Honor. So if we may ask the COA.
Please, COA, please respond.
Our auditor of the LTO had issued the notice of suspension for the delays or for the submission of some documents which were not submitted before when issued on March 5. The delay was issued April 10, 2015.
Aming expression sa LTO ay tungkol po doon sa, kasi nakalagay po sa batas, the number plates shall be kept clean and cared for, and shall be firmly affixed on the motor vehicle in such a manner as will make it entirely visible and always legible. Nangangahulugan po, kung marumi yan, kailangan pong palitan. Kung dilapidated, suportado kami. Yung pong objection namin, pero hindi po kami makakuha ng... Hindi po na kung dediretso kalis po ang pagkuha ng plaka, pa rin po akong plaka.
That should not exceed 3 months. 3 months ang nasa dapat so at least less than 5 months.
Yes, sir.
So yung delay, so naging domino effect no? So probably one of the reasons of the delays yung sa procurement.
I just would like, Mr. Chair, I just would like to make some corrections on that because the procurement process entailed the period of from the opening of the bids to the award of the contract was all.
That you are
Dali na nga, nitignan ko. Dali ito yung letter galing sa inyo Ito pala, nasa taas. AOM number 14-011.
Sir,
Dated November 17, 2014.
Sir, that was not from me. I assumed office at LTO January of 2015.
Hindi ko po sinasabi sa inyo, pero tinasabi ko lang na we have a copy of an audit observation or an AOM from the Commissioner Lolita Marquez.
Yes, sir.
State Auditor 5.
Yes, sir.
Please, continue. Yun na pa.
Yun na lang po, sir.
Okay, so thank you. Can we now ask Mr. Blaylock for your presentation?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Honorable Senator. I represent the Philippine Association with Organization of Locally Friendly Automotive Dealers. Established in 1951, the auto name to the president of the LTO, for we understand that this problem has been for some of our customers who have had to wait for an extremely long period of time to get and their plates for registration. We, the automotive dealers, have taken the brunt and the anger and frustrations of these customers, but we have remained non-combative, even passive, in trying to understand the supplier problems and operational restrictions the LTO had to contend with the registration of new vehicles. Over the years, the PAA has vowed to work with government, and especially the LTO, in formulating and implementing policies for the general good of the automotive industry. We stood by government agencies when they looked into the second-hand importations of Angelo Reyes, stakeholders for consultation of individual concerns prior to the no plate, no travel policy. Memorandum of LG Secretary Angelo Reyes, after he called all the stakeholders for consultation, discussions of individual concerns prior to the no plate, no travel policy. Try the reporter in print, radio. Through all these, the PAA did not react. We kept our peace. We have not wavered our commitment to work with the LTO. We have been consistently meeting with ASEC Tan and his staff to look for ways to resolve this seemingly insurmountable problem. Meeting with ASEC Tan and to look for ways to seemingly from the shipment of the vehicles or manufacturing of the automobiles in the country to the sale and registration of all these new vehicles. Interpretation of the 7-day provision for the registration process with LTO has been subject to debate, and we hope this investigation may lead to the much-needed revisions of the implementing law promulgated way back in 1964, which this policy is based on. The registration no travel policy be put on hold with the other concerned stakeholders resolve all issues in its proper implementation. Presently, to do registration, but in reality, there seems to be no way for us to beat the deadline, and it is because of this that LTO has laxed submission of our registration documents. The actual registration of a new vehicle may take as long as on the current policy if the ORCR without a plate fined 5,000 pesos. That's the end user or the only has his ORCR without pesos. That's then on the second day, we then go back to the land bank and pay for the PNP clearance, and then we get our SBR. Complete with all the documents and submit them for PC clearance. Simultaneously, our dealer coordinators prepare the payments for the LTO, prepare the vehicle sales invoice together with the tax identity or the TIN number of the customers, prepare our 7-day window. This is when the LTO now starts processing the LTO registration. They have a policy which they have stated that the entire process would take 7 days. But to be actual about it, we are experiencing and we have experienced delays. And it actually takes them a minimum of 10 days to a maximum of 13 days. So the whole process in itself takes 18 days. Again, I say this is for Metro Manila. Now, for the provinces, there are some from 10 to 15. The 7-day registration information we've shared with this honorable committee, Automotive Association, humbly reiterate request for the following. For a thorough review of stakeholders' roles and relevance to the present industry conditions. Third, that the PC clearances be processed together with the CP and the CSR by the manufacturer. Thank you very much.
This is that you have 7 days. You're a responsible car owner. You can get your registration and plate by 7 days. So if you go beyond that, you're not supposed to use the car. I'd like to give ASEC Tan the opportunity to respond. If he insists, just before we go to you for the response, let me just take advantage. Nandito yung Police Superintendent Claraval, no? Sir, baka pwede mo i-communicate sa command nyo, no? Na baka pwedeng yung PNP clearance hindi na after mabili yung kotse. Kung hindi, pagkadating pa lang nung dito, so may clearance pa rin. Pero from the importation to the dealers. so that at least we take out 1 or 2 days from the process. But you still give your clearance, the fees. And I know you cannot answer that, communicate that. So we'll try to shorten the period by a day or 2. No? Your clearance, they still pay the fees. And how would you react to their, if there are parts that you disagree?
We know each other from law school. If there's objective to solve the problems, yes, it can be done. I was looking at the slide. Mr. Blaylock, by the way, is my text mate already. I know all of them. Mr. Laos has an open line to me twice a month since July of last year. So again, this July of last year. So again, this is. I was hoping to see there is with us.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Okay. Can we? So don't get me wrong, no. To your office and really trying to find a solution here, no. And right before we look at it, we're not saying that all dealers are the same, huh?
Definitely.
I've talked to 1 or 2 buyers who did say that
may rule na batch. Hindi naman namin dinadala sa LTO kinabukasan lahat ng binebenta namin. So, may mga araw na, let's say, 1 or 2 releases, inaantay namin yan na magbulto.
Yes. So, to be fair to the LTO, before, nung may mga batches at hinihintay, and there was no plate, no travel, meron ganon. But since the no plate, no travel, the buyers have been at your neck, and then, of course, LTO has said, kasi dati ganito, and hindi maganda yan. Hindi maganda, napakatagal na sakali kayo, na wala naman kayong plaka. So we all agree, no, that
yes, sir.
They should not be on the road without being registered at walang plaka. But dalawa lang asekta na we're trying to solve. Kaya ba ng 7 days? Kung hindi, ilan days?
See, if there is no plate, we will flag you down. But we have not actually ticketed or fined. Spell the yes, in the policy, if there is no plate, we will flag you down. But we have not actually ticketed or fine.
Medyo lasing na yung mga lawyers na pare, law enforcement, abogado. Naintindihan ng lahat ng law enforcement tools para may konting sa kahit may OR o ano, wala kang plaka, alam mo na kung ano mangyayari. Either away o lagayan or kung mabait yung ano, you go. But then in the next city, huli ka na naman. So as you ito, sa enforcement, the ground.
Sige. Attorney Tan, please proceed.
Unfortunately, sir, that's the only way we will find out if a vehicle that's on the road without plates is registered or not, is to flag it down and ask for the OR and CR. Admittedly, there are reports that some enforcers have taken advantage of it.
So can you change it? Hindi na no plate, no travel.
It has never been no plate, no travel, Your Honor.
Yun ang ano we can blame Channel 2579, but yun ang alam nung lahat So let's change it to no registration, no travel. Kasi naka-register naman sila wala lang plaka.
It has always been no registration, no travel for LTO, Your Honor. And even when we come out,
So we can agree here today na kung walang plaka, pero registered sila, hindi sila huhulihin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, second question, how long to register?
How long to register, Your Honor? Right now, Your Honor, PAA is saying we cannot do it in 7 days. We disagree, Your Honor.
Sir, excuse me. They're not saying LTO cannot do it, They're saying with all the agencies they have to go through, including the financing company, it cannot be done. And, sir, how many % pass the financing company? How many buyers pass financing company?
70% of our buyers go through financing.
So if it was like
70% of our buyers go
70%.
through.
To register a finance vehicle, the register of 15 days. It's more than 15 days, So that alone can already delay the registration of the vehicle because what we're supposed to do is, that's the reason there is a need for the register of deeds to really put that encumbrance so that LTO can likewise reflect that in the CR. And that is about 7 to 15 days.
So, sir, for you, both as a car owner and someone in the industry, what's unreasonable time, assuming that it's a diligent buyer, no, diligent dealer. So the dealer right away on the next day sends to the PNP. The PNP does it in 1 day. What's a time frame that you think will reasonable at?
Reasonable enough for the dealer and for the car owner.
Dealer kung sa kanila naipit. Let's say 1 week they blame you. Why should blame you? Can we go through that and can we find a period then 7 calendar days? Ha? Kasi ngayon Saturday, Sunday is not a working day, no? I mean, if we need from the secretary a memorandum or from Congress any kind of, and I have a new car, I don't, but if I have a new, walang huli yun, that clear to the enforcer, walang lagayan, walang ano, I think we'll solve the problem, di ba? Of course, kung register within 7 days, wala din tayong problema, and let's try to get there, no? But do you disagree that it'll take 1 or 2 days PNP, it'll take 10 days registry of sa registry what
Two. First, and the encumbrance first, and the encumbrance answer.
And then answer, or you want just so that we can get also up to you. What's more comfortable for you, Asek?
Maybe
up
we
to you,
submit
Asek. What's more comfortable for you, Asek?
The reaction.
Okay, then the encumbrance later.
Sir, pwede yon. Kaya lang double payment yon.
Later.
Kaya lang double payment. Sir, ko muna ng
The moment with the register of deeds, that's the time we go back to LTO to register it that's being collected.
Sir, if you go to LTO at the same time for actions, you have to
have accredited or liaisons that do this. I think the problem in Pampanga, that is where we are encountering this.
I think this one is happening in the provinces, where banks do not actually extend that the spatial.
Pampanga, that's where we are encountering this.
Your Honor, I think this one is happening in the do not that the space to
it as encumbered yung pag kung gagawin nila una lalabas registration.
No, Your Honor. They can register it. The registration will not show.
Let me rephrase. Is it totally a administrative hassle just to go twice, or is there any other legal reason why the proposal of the ASEC cannot be done?
Actually, sir, the legal protection becomes immaterial because of their actual practice
of giving the vehicle.
Giving the vehicle already, yes, without even registering the vehicle or the encumbrance. Kaya
but we're all excited to get our cars.
That's a problem.
It's the documentation process of the dealers where we're having delays. We cannot comply with what we have is, and this we go back to 1 days, and I keep telling you it's not happening. In fact, I even asked you to come up and implement a new policy wherein when we submit the transmittal form, we stamp the date, don't put a date.
4 days in the present.
The law is implemented. If you bought another car dahil coding, you're using it magamit. Or in Singapore, walang traffic enforcer na nahihingi. Camera lahat doon. And ganyan . So the reality also is that we have to temper our find something that hindi mo hingi . Camera lahat doon. And ganyan . That we have to temper our laws and find number of applicants a day. Ang intention namin doon, 145 minutes becomes 200 period per table. That was the intention. No? So I'm just saying that if you look at the 7 days, especially if you buy your car on a Thursday or Friday, hindi mo matatapos talaga sa 7 days . So we'd really like to finish this hearing, at least on this aspect, with us asking you to continue to talk, but with some resolution then here, that all of us have agreed, no one has compromised, but we all think nurse, no, are reasonable. I mean, I can say that 7 days is unreasonable, but 30 days is also unreasonable. But can we try to find you have the best DOTC lawyer beside you. I'm sure he'll find how to deal with the 7 days, no?
Again, Your Honor, we have been meeting regularly.
Yes, but
we have been meeting regularly
Yeah, but
with
obviously,
all our stakeholders.
Yeah, let's not talk about ourselves na lang. Yung motorista na lang.
Ganito, Your Honor. Perhaps to solve the problem, we should look at what our requirements are, even the
Okay.
prior requirements, and find a way to
So if we don't set a deadline among ourselves and come, if we keep the 7-day period, the problem would linger. The problem would linger. And sinasabi ko talaga, no matter how harsh it is, and I'm trying to communicate naman to you that there should be a middle ground without you violating your own principle that it's harsh and will follow it. No? I don't mind talaga na hindi sinunod, abusado. Ako naman hindi ma-register. Dahil, di ba? So, I'll give you an example. What if we challenge each other, no? Will they be registered in 73 or 4 of 10 of them won't be able to do it? So, 4 of them. So, let me rephrase. Sa dami kong tanong. Are you really fixated with
implement it? We have discussed this with them since July of last year. We used to ask for more documents where the delay will come from, given the solutions we have agreed upon. We have agreed upon.
Says, because what the law says is in 7 days after my submission. That's why we're recommending, let's go back to the RA. Let's look at this. Because even when we met with your people, kasi ang sabi, hindi ko matatapos days. Pero ang nakalagay doon is pero ang ginagawa,
meaning, sir, a simple interpretation that when you submit, you are considered in the process of registration will fulfill the 7-day requirement.
Yes, sir.
That has been raised during our last meeting and addressed already.
Yeah,
Your
so
Honor.
why don't you follow that and then let someone question it sa court?
We are following that already, sir. That has been raised in the
within
previous
7 days, kung hindi mo hawak yung ORCR, huhulihin ka nung traffic enforcement, di ba? Enforcer.
Sir,
Your Honor, ang sasabi niya kasi, Your Honor, is we don't accept documents.
What I'm saying is,
sir,
Your Honor, we
have to follow. It's a regulation. So you can say that substantial compliance, pag eto sinubmit mo, you're considered registered. And ORCR is contract. When is a contract field?
Agree, Your Honor.
Not when you have the actual paper. The actual paper, except in certain circumstance, and registration is just for protection of third parties or for enforcement. A justice, and we interpret the law that will serve the people. No, I mean, I'm making light of it, sir. Making light of it. You're beside a brilliant UP.
Correct, Your Honor. Or pending registration for the past 4 to 6
yes,
months.
so can we come up with a solution? Can there be a way that when they give the sales invoice, may date na yan, then, kasi sabi nung iba, sir, they'll just keep issuing invoices. Hindi, kasi may insurance So the date of the insurance can be your date. Will you allow the car to be brought out of the without the insurance?
No, sir. Absolutely
okay, so
not.
Let's look at the date of the insurance. No, so if you look at the date of the insurance and then
we have apprehended a motor vehicle. First of all, Your Honor, we apprehended a motor vehicle that was given by the dealer with multiple sales
yes,
and multiple PPLs.
I heard of that.
Your
And let's
Honor.
put that guy in jail, but that's 1 out of 8.
Second, Your Honor, that's exactly what's in
the insurance. So, but that can't we find something in between? But then the dealers can discipline their members. If the dealers are diligent, thank you. Continue with your services. If you're not, we'll take care of them. We'll police our. I think we come out of the hearing that way. But if we just say that there's no problem, we can't find the problem after hearing you. But guys, I can tumawag sa akin are in the same situation, and you'll be surprised. Tumawag sa akin are in the same situation, and you'll be surprised. No, they might even take it up on ganon. But already have cars na walang plaka or because of the change of people, not including or the stick. No, and we haven't even gotten to the licenses yet. It's already 1:30. No, so yeah, it's already 1:30. No.
Ang tanong ko lang po, ang concern din nabibigyan po. Alam po ninyo, during the bidding po, meron nung strict policy ang sa bid documents of delivery, no? Babasahin ko po sa inyo sa section 6 ng bid documents nila na yung nanalo po, yung nanalo bidding na nag-manufacturer, meron po silang pero ito po babasahin ko lang po. Dito po sa schedule of requirements, dapat po kung dapat po talaga mag-uumpisa ang pag-deliver ng plaka kung nasunod po yung sa 2013 na may bidding, na hindi sila nagkaroon ng problema po sa Mayowa, hindi sila nagkaroon ng GAA, hindi sila nagkaroon ng problema sa NEDA. Dapat po July to December of 2013, dapat po nakapag-deliver na po yung nanalo sa LTO ng 4 million, 50 na po tayo. Equipment na nanalo sila, dapat po sa 2014 ay magdi-deliver sila ng 4,925,990 ng 4,925,990
delivery, and then third, may late. Okay.
Opo.
But just to, sir, I just wanna, with your permission, we'll go back to you,
Opo.
just to try to find a solution to this problem. I was already assuming that the plates will be there because you're saying that there's no plate, no travel. That's another problem. But assuming that you don't need the plate, or the plate has arrived or will arrive, sa law and the numbers, pagka-submit ninyo at submit nila, we'll put it on the board.
Opo.
Para kita natin
At
lahat.
saka po sana, Your Honor, kung po pwede po natin mahingi sa LTO, na ilan na po ba...
Put it on the board.
Opo.
Para kita natin
At
lahat.
saka po sana, Your Honor, kung po pwede po natin mahingi sa LTO, ilan na po ba ang na-deliver sa kanila ng supplier? Motor vehicle plates, ilan na po yung sa... By the documents na kapag nagbid ka at nanalo ka, you are obliged and committed to deliver a certain number of quantities in a certain period. Kaya bakit po magkukulang ng plaka? Yung po ang kasi nakalagay
Sige,
dito,
sir.
4
Sir,
million po.
I just consulted with our chairman. He
Opo.
said he's willing to call a hearing right away, let's say next week.
Opo, sige
So,
po.
can you give us a copy of everything you want to know from LTO? LTO will do the same and respond. May I make a request, plea, whatever we want to call it, to the DOTC LTO? Can you take a second look at the law and see at the elbow room you have? And I think we all got the gist. And hopefully we can meet Wednesday or Thursday next week, Mr. Chair, and be here with solutions and clarifications, diba? We're all busy. We all want to get back to our work, but let's solve that. We cannot do that without solving it. No? So I know there has been words thrown, there has been accusation, pictures on Facebook, but just for 1 week, let's forget the past, let's move forward, and let's see until next week, with the permission of the chair, if we can come to a reasonable time, what document, etc.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Konti na lang po, Mr. Senator.
Okay, please, please briefly, so we can,
just
we will have another hearing regarding
Opo,
this.
just 1 lang second lang ho. Kasi locally manufactured na ho itong plaka ngayon Di dapat mas madali mag-manufacture. Sana kung imported do yan, hindi nila magagawa yung mga 4 million na commitment nila, 1 million na commitment nila. Local na nga ho, nagkakaroon pa tayo ng problema sa delivery. So ano po ang problema talaga? I mean, I think there's something wrong here. Na ang manufacturer is committed to the DOTC LTO na mag-deliver sila ng plaka in a certain period. 2015 na tayo. 2014 required na sila na mag-deliver ng 4,925,992. Kaya kung gusto namin po malaman, ilan na po yung na-deliver at magkano na po na ibayad ng LTO sa supplier para po natin malaman
So, can we
talaga
give
kung ano pong katotohanan.
attorney time to answer, Yusek Tan? Ilan pa ba yung backlog natin, yung inyong estimate?
No, Your Honor, as I said a while ago, we had adequate...
Yung inyong estimate?
As I said a while ago, we had adequate to our supply to normal shipment yesterday, and we expect to I just know from the dealers, given that in the financing, I've given you the option to register before you submit your documents to the LTO, sir.
Please, anybody from the dealers? Mr. Laos?
I think we have two different situations, province and NCR. In the province, for example, in Pampanga, Region 3, we still get our PNP clearance at Camp Carame. So that takes another 2 days for us, calendar days. This in one of the meetings. What will happen during Christmas season when in 1 week, I think there will be only 2 working days. So practically, most of the cars that will be sold during that time should not be traveling. So most probably for cars, maybe 10 days is a reasonable one. We can really...
Sir, 10 working days.
10 working days. 10 working days. We'll squeeze to finish that in 10 working days.
Sir, first point, we have already issued a memorandum that we will accept PNP clearances not in the name of the buyer. So we will accept PNP clearances in the name of the manufacturer or the dealer. In fact, in the motorcycle industry, the PNP clearance is issued before the motorcycle is actually sold. So that would cut the PNP clearance from the 7-day process. Second, sir.
It's PNP is 2 days because 10 working days, Your Honor.
Mr. Blaylock, please.
Sir, we have actually went to PNP and asked if we, and they have...
Here, LTO has given a direct clearance. Anyway, the car will be the same regardless of who the owner. Can you bring that up to your superiors and discuss it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And may I just input, ASEC, no? Remember the people who are yung nagre-register. Hindi naman lahat may may executive assistant or may tao . So yung iba may trabaho din . So hindi naman even if you say that you can finish it in 7 days, which is 5 working days, if puno yung LTO or susunduin mo anak mo, 'di ba, hahatid mo anak mo, these are all part of naman lahat may may executive assistant din . So hindi naman mo anak mo, these are all part of the human draw you need, etc. We can do it in X number of days, but if you look at the reality, 'di ba, na you spend this time to get the car, you spend this time to ganyan, 'di ba, you have to put a little bit of Monday to Fridays or ending it now is precisely him and try to this. So, ASEC, can you communicate then with the PNP why they're not accepting yung memo order niya?
We have actually already communicated with them, except that we haven't followed up the actual
implementation
action on that.
Yeah, for all we know, they may have a reason. I mean, we're talking now as if it doesn't make a difference if it's the
registration. Ang kampi po, early on, ng yenta for the I don't know how LTO projects yung kanilang supply. Yun lang ang reaction ko doon.
And sir, I saw your projections at meron yan kung ano Metro Manila, ano yung outside.
That's correct,
so
Senator.
It's quite useful.
Apo, yeah, okay. Ngayon, on the 7th, we have been working with LTO, and in fact, we would like to credit LTO on the process of getting the certificate of stock report. It used to be 14 days. We work with certificate of stock report. It used to be we work with LTO, and now do it by themselves, to get the CSR 2 days lang, So it's a big improvement on that, But again, LTO has been reviewed. Okay? So that's the LTO. Wala doon. Nagagawa ba nila? So so you have to naman to speed up there. But again, yung process of buo yun including customs. Okay. So definitely hindi kaya yung customs. Okay. Yung point ng 7 days is not clear of the sales invoice. 7 days. Kailangan within 7 days meron kang OR ng mga apprehending officer. The date of the sales invoice. 7 days. Kailangan within 7 days meron kang ORCR. May plaka ka. That's practical. LTO will start to count the 7 from the 7th day of the sales invoice. That actually on the 7th day of the sales invoice. That actually makes it 14 days, which is okay naman. Customers are concerned. The buyer. So wala, lampas ka na talaga doon. how do we address that? I
Sir-
think
sir,
ASEC confirmed this na sabi niya, eto binibigay namin sa dealer is only for purposes of waiving the penalty against the dealers. But as far as the customers, the buyers are concerned, sales invoice pa rin.
Yes, sir, on that point only, no?
Yes, sir.
So if they, I'm not saying this will be the agreement, but just if they amend their and they will say that the sales invoice is good until the 15th day. So meaning if you submit to LTO on the first day or 7th day, you comply with the 7 days in the law, yung registration mo, but at least clear signal sa humuhuli yon na kung July 1 hanggang July 16 yon. Siyempre, tuturuan din natin sila ng ano ba, inclusive ba yung last day o hindi. Baka mag-away na naman sa do you exclude the first and include the last day. No? But I see your point. So you're saying right now, meron namang basis sa yung sales invoice. Of course, sinasabi sir na may nandadaya. But if you look at both dates, the insurance and the sales invoice, sobra namang talagang makapal na yung magpepeke pa nung both, no? But I think that will be the exception to the exception, no? So can we work on that?
Sir, that is actually what we are
no, but the law
doing
enforcers
now.
don't know that eh.
Yes, sir.
Sa law enforcement, pag sinabi mong I mean, you don't have to come out with a new policy. You can clarify it, but it has to come out sa media. No, that there is no plate, it is no registration. What is registration? Just say it that 15 days after sales invoice, you don't have RRCR huli. May sales invoice ka at wala kang ganyan. I know that's more of the communications plan na, no? But that's what they need eh. That's what people need para klaro sa kanila. Walang away about sa traffic enforcers.
We will try to come out more and explain our policy more. But that is actually what is happening right now. In fact,
so right now, if my sales invoice is May 1 and it's May 10, hindi ko pa hawak OR ko, hindi ako huhulihin.
Depends on your insurance COC date, Your Honor.
Let's say my insurance was also May 1 also.
Dapat hindi, Your Honor. Dapat hindi.
Pero alam mo, magkaharap tayo ngayon, as you said, no, we know each other, etc. Hindi klaro yun sa lahat. Ang ano talaga nila, pag lumampas ang 7 days, huli ka. No, and I've asked people who are in the know, who told me the same thing. I said, are you sure, ha? And I have a bunch of lawyers, and they're great lawyers, no? And so if you're saying it's not a matter of changing policy but of restating and announcing it, no? So isa na lang magiging problema natin, yung na lang financing. Kasi yung sa sinasabi ni ASEC, you actually have 14 days for the cash, which is acceptable to the dealer. The company agrees with the 14-day reasonable time period.
For cash transactions,
no?
Senator, yes.
So for the financing, the ASEC has a proposal. There are some problems with that. But would you agree that 14-day period? So if all law enforcers were told, all traffic enforcers were told, kung anong date ng sales invoice mo at saka ng insurance, plus 14 days bago mo hulihin.
As far as we're concerned, sir, payag kami doon. Sir, just to state on the record na we support the no plate, no travel, no registration, no travel policy. Just to let you know, if we do not get the ORs, the CRs, and the license plates, we are not paid. The dealers are not paid. So of course we support this, and I think ASEC knows this. So if you're willing to come up with a advisory.
I know, ASEC, you cannot say legally 15 days because 7 days sa law. But when we say kasi 7 days, ang sa ordinary traffic enforcer, not to put the blame on them, sumusunod din lang sila sa atin at nanguhuli din lang sila. But, di ba, kung ako traffic enforcer, sinabi sa akin ng boss chief ko na 7 days, ulihin mo, hindi ko na anuhin na, 3rd day ba sinubmit, so plus 10, 7th day ba. But pag sinabi sa akin, and the media is always very cooperative here, no? They can come out that upon clarification, the no plate, no travel is simple, no? Sales invoice and insurance plus 14 days, no? 14.
Working.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Please, Attorney Fortuny.
We have to be clear kasi let's not let them count. So if we say work, if that's 20 days. So, I mean, well, we have a week and but will you clarify here today that it's 14 days, even if we're not saying working pa, then let's see next hearing if we can get even a better policy. But today, sir, you're saying that is the policy.
We
They have
cannot
14
officially
days.
say they have 14 days.
You
Your
can
Honor.
officially say they have 14 days.
No, we cannot officially say that. Your
I
Honor,
thought
because
you
the
said
law
that's
only
the,
gives 7 days.
Sorry, let me clarify. I thought you said that's the policy, that if they submit on the 7th day, they still have 1 week.
We have agreed already, Your Honor, that we will accept their applications on the 7th day.
Yes, and that will be considered registration.
That will be considered
Yes,
registration. So it's just a matter
but
of
they don't have
interpreting
the
it.
OR CR yet on the 7th
Yes,
day
Your
that
Honor.
they submitted.
Yes, Your
So yun ang hahanapin ng law enforcers.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
So,
can
we'll
we
just-
figure out sa lalong madaling panahon
We will,
what to announce and how MMDA, LTO, LTFRB, governors, mayors will advise their
we will come out with advisories explaining it, Your Honor.
yeah, Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Attorney
if I may be
Fortuny,
heard.
please.
We've been hearing a lot about this 7 days thing. Just to clarify, I've gone through Republic Act 4136, and the only time that I've seen 7 days actually is with regard to Section 56, which is the penalty. Subsection A says, for registering later than 7 days after acquiring title of an unregistered motor vehicle. Meaning that the penalty actually comes in only if you register later than 7 days. So sa totoo po, wala naman po talaga sa batas kung titingnan natin, at least as far, I would not want to venture that far.
Okay, but
Your Honor.
just to pursue your point, who's
Alright.
another friend attorney here, but maybe someone from a military school in the U.S. can, if the secretary issues a circular saying that his reading of the law or the legal that the 7 days refers to this, and a reasonable period is 15 working days, will you follow the order?
Considering, Your Honor, that we are just a line agency of the DOTC, we will follow.
Okay. Solve the problem all around, because I do understand my compañero here that that's his interpretation. He's the head of the agency, so he has to stand on principle. Having said that, we have appellate courts, and one of our appellate court is the office of the secretary. No, so we cannot build a railway in 1 day. We cannot fix the MRT in 1 day. We cannot the railway in 1 day. We cannot fix in 1 day. We can actually, or in a couple of days, we can, rather than the good chairman has been very patient. Let's just amend. I want to spend taxpayers' money on spending such a trivial thing. To speak to both and to this word reasonable, because that implies that LTO is unreasonable. A more agreeable in this table. Sir, may I ask that of you?
Of course, Your Honor, because as we all know, we're all here for public service. So we will
Okay.
do as you have.
So at presentation about the licenses in the next hearing, or if you want to give a 1-minute version of where we'll get it. Okay, but lastly, may I just put this here? I just might forget, no? Since that you only are allowed for testing, sila na libre at may permit sila, no? Go ahead.
On the part of LTO, we do issue permits to operate on a regular basis to various manufacturers and importers. We have made it clear to COMET, and you'll see their authorization that they're not supposed to use it for carriage of a passenger or goods. We'll have
It's all over their Twitter and everything, and hindi sila na-apprehend dahil nagpo-posing sila with DOTC officials, and DOTC officials even arranged a photo op with President Obama when he was here. So, that's the situation. I don't mind if you're extending that to all e-jeepney, by the way, it's an e-bus, not an e-jeepney, because and ang alam ko, LTFRB doesn't give permits to minibuses. It's actually a recycled minibus, but then it's an minibus. So I'm just passing it to you and hope that there'll be action on that. No? Could I just ask the industry quickly, Mr. Chair?
Please.
Can we
Go ahead.
close at least on that the Secretary will take a look and 7 days, and I don't think we solved the whole problem, but then the LTO is able to explain where they're coming from. You were able to explain where you're going. So will we leave the whole partially smiling, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very much so.
Kampi? Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
So, but please answer that, and also just to give yourself a, because Top Gear is one of the also very respected media outlets for automobile enthusiasts and users, and they said they were ready to name, but not on their post, no, a foreigner who was getting a license and not saying it's all LTO offices. I'm sure if they tell you where and who, you'll do something about it. But can you clarify all of that so we wrap up well? Mr. Chair, thank you for your patience.
Okay, thank you, Senator Cayetano. Likewise, before we wrap up, the Chair would just like to remind LTO to submit documents related to inventory. Chair would just like to remind LTO to submit documents related to inventory and deliveries of the supplier, so that the next meeting we would have an idea. We will again send invitation to Power Place and JKG to attend. Place and J is here sa LTO or DOTC made by the government to JKG. Baka sumusobra ang bayad natin sa mga dinideliver nila. We just want to make sure. Before we end, to conform with the realities, no, in the registration process of the motor vehicles, I guess we will have the Republic Act 136 code. We might introduce an amendment if 7 days is really not enough, no? Probably with the, of course, before, if we amendments, we will be calling, or if we amendments, we will be calling you for a hearing on these matters, and then just decide on what we can be compromised, no? Whether 7, 10, probably 15 days. So hopefully by that time we will be able to on this measure. So again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Request, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Attorney Romero.
Notice of the audit observation memorandum, the notice of suspension, all the documents submitted by the LTO in pursuance of the audit, and the audit, official audit on payments made by LTO to the supplier. Thank you. And of course, the monies remitted to the National Treasury. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Please, COA, please take note of those requests, and please bring them to the next meeting. Before we end, Asektan, please, you have the last say in this afternoon's hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. In response to the questions on licenses, our last contract with the supplier ended some time in 1989, Your Honor. Since then, it has been renewed on a yearly basis until the renewals finally stop in 2006, Your Honor. Since then, we have been paying them on a quantum merit basis. Last November of 2013, the Commission on Audit disallowed our payments to our supplier, so we haven't been paying them for anything since September of 2013. Yesterday, we had the DOTC conducted a bidding for the supply of our driver's license cards. Hopefully, we will able to get this procured and awarded.
Thank you. Again, it's been a very productive afternoon. At least we were able to resolve a lot of things. So but we still need to